I love that woman more than I could ever express in any conceivable manner. Yeah, right.
You sure about that?
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise swearsies, it's just a fact. And it's totally science. Go ahead, look it up. Thanks so much. We're still in the new office. Maybe it's a little bit echoey, but I decided I wanted to try and yell at people today to really test it out. It's not going well, but we'll get into it anyways. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Here's a bit of relationship advice. My 26 male girlfriend kicked a child, and I can't view her the same way. Yeah, because you're 26, and at one point the thought crossed your mind, like, maybe I should put some babies in there. And then you saw her kick a kid, you're like, oh my God, she hates kids. and now you don't want to be with her anymore. And that's fine, maybe, depending on why she kicked the child. Was the child a zombie?
Oh, you little
Tell me more, OP. My girlfriend and I have been dating for 2 years now. A few days ago, she told me the following. She left to take our dog to the dog park in our apartment complex. When she got there, a boy, who we now know is 8 years old, with a ball pump approached her and asked if he could pet the dog. She let him, and then when he took too long, told him that the dog can't poop if she's distracted. Yeah, dude, that's why I don't let my dog take his cell phone in the bathroom. The kid didn't respond well to that and followed them into the dog park. He climbed into a tube tunnel there, and when our dog went over to sniff around, my girlfriend saw him poking the dog with the pump. Oh my God. He's gonna stick that pump in your dog's butthole. We're gonna have some IRL inflation happenings. I guess I really did learn nothing about being demonetized, you know? I just can't help myself. Luckily, the channel's fully monetized now, but for how long, I guess is the question. Sign up on Patreon, please, if you want to support me, should that happen. So girlfriend told the kid not to do that, and leashed our dog and took her to a trail that goes through the trees behind our apartment complex that's decently far from the dog park. Yeah, get the dog away from the kid. Sounds good. Also, where are this kid's parents? He's just wandering around with a fucking ball pump? I guess they're in the apartment somewhere. He's just out there harassing the dogs. That's why nobody uses the dog park anymore. Oh, Grandpa ReddX, the people have been asking for you to make a comeback. Do you have anything to say about dog parks or what they used to be like back in your day? No, not really. I just think people should go to the dog park more. Goodbye. Okay, bye. So while girlfriend was on the trail, letting the dog sniff around, she noticed that the boy was following them, still with the ball pump. I don't know, man. Somebody check that kid's internet history. He's got some weird interests. Yes. No, stop! She pretended to get on her phone and asked the boy something like, "What's your name? The police officer on the phone wants to know." The boy got angry and started running at them. My girlfriend put herself between him and our dog. Oh, how selfless. He might poke us with that needle thing. This is already getting so ridiculous. He jammed the ball pump into her leg, and she kicked him, sending him tumbling down the hill by the path. This is kind of hilarious. He tried to inflate me. Did the needle actually break the skin? Probably not. It's uncomfortable to be poked, but like, it's just a child. Then again, these kids raised by iPads and shit, sometimes they just get a little bit out of control, you know? They haven't been raised by their parents. They've been raised by YouTube videos, and not the right kind of YouTube videos. Which, of course, includes this channel, with all of its allusions to furry inflation. Okay, I'm done now. So yeah, kid tumbles down the hill, great. She said that it was automatic, but I don't know if I believe that. The boy ended up spraining his wrist, and his parents called the police. Yeah, you basically assaulted another human being, and it's not okay. I guess all that depends on whether the bike pump actually did any damage. So let's read on and find out. My girlfriend was questioned, but not arrested. The parents want to press charges, and as much as my girlfriend insists that she thinks it'll be fine, I just can't get the idea of her being violent towards a minor out of my mind. I know, dude. I unpacked this before we even started the post. I want kids someday, and I thought I knew who I was dating. She injured a child, and I feel so gross that I'm dating someone like this. How does our relationship move forward? Okay, follow-up question to that, OP. Why does the relationship need to move forward? I know you spent a couple years together, but maybe it's good to get out and see the world, you know? And I understand the kid was 8 years old, and I seen some beefy 8-year-olds, dude, like...
Damn, boy, he's sick, boy!
The hormones haven't quite hit yet, but you could tell they're well on their way, you know? And she's a small woman. I don't know, I can sort of see where the basketball thing, getting poked with that little needle of a ball pump. No, I don't want to do that. And if the kid's really not understanding being told no, if he's been raised by iPads and whatnot, then yeah. Basically, at the end of the day, this is his parents' fault. Can we drag them into the court case? That's really who I want to prosecute at this moment. He's an 8-year-old and he's clearly been failed in several ways. So yeah, do whatever you want, OP. Stay with her, don't stay with her. It sounds at least partially justified. I mean, I would not take too kindly to somebody poking me with a ball pump needle, even if the skin wasn't broken. It's just a case of OP's girlfriend possibly defending herself, or she's a violent psychopath towards children, unprovoked. I mean, it seems kind of stupid. I razz the whole situation, but if we have to pretend like we're serious adults for a moment, yeah, it's probably fine. It's probably fine, if her story's true. And I don't know what to think. You got to make that judgment call for yourself. Honestly, dude, pretty fun story. I'm super glad to be back. Let's get into another one. My girlfriend got hurt at Brazilian Jiu-jitsu. I feel terrible, but I don't think it was on purpose. She's mad at me. Oh boy, this should be full of twists and turns, huh? I started taking Brazilian Jiu-jitsu in 2021 as a way to get into better shape after the lockdowns. I had joined a regular gym and also started going to a Brazilian Jiu-jitsu academy on the advice of my cousin who had started going to one. He lives in another province, however. He was able to recommend one where I live. I'm only a blue belt, but I really enjoy it. All right, all of that sounds just fine so far. I started dating my girlfriend last year, and I thought Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was something that we could do together. She was reluctant. Yeah, already we have a problem here. You guys don't need to share all the same interests, okay? If you do, hey, that's great. But there are some things that I'm clearly more interested in than my wife, and some things that she has that are just for her, and I think that's healthy. If you lack anything to do together outside of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's where you start asking questions about, like, why are we even together? I got her to come observe me a few times, but she was still reluctant. Yeah, she's too nice to say no because this is the honeymoon phase, but really she don't want to do this shit. Take no for an answer, huh? Even if it's only an implied no. Then my girlfriend told me about a women's only class for beginners at a different academy. Part of why she was reluctant was that there were currently no women at my academy. We've had women before, but they always drop out and stop coming after a while. Are you not connecting the dots here yet? OP's just like, God, that's weird, but surely if I shove my girlfriend in the class I'm taking, it's gonna be great. OP says, I didn't think the women's only class was a good idea. Why? Plus, the idea was for us to do something together, so I convinced her to join my academy. You're such a douche. He doesn't realize why at all. You can still share Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you just don't have to be in like the same fucking class. You're a blue belt. Surely she should be learning different things than you're learning. She's gonna go have to spar with other blue belts? You just want to watch these gym bros beat up your girlfriend? I mean, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. But for me, no kink shame. Actually, yeah, kink shame, but no kink shame for sure. All right, continuing on. She joined almost 2 months ago. In that time, she went with me every time she wasn't working on the same evenings I was free and would go to the academy. So you guys don't do anything? Like, she's reluctant to go, but you're just like slamming her with it? Maybe you could go find yourself an actual like jiu-jitsu chick that was into it before she met you. And then you can connect on this thing that you want to connect so badly on. Do they connect outside of this in any way? I don't know what to think. My girlfriend never went to the academy alone, however. Again, anybody home? Lights are on up there? Hello? She doesn't like it. A few times she complained to me that the others at the academy were rough, but it's a contact sport, and I convinced her to stay after she wanted to quit. I mean, that's great, you know? Pushing somebody to pursue something that's beyond themselves. But, and a rather large caveat, they have to want it themselves. This is just like some gym bro maniac who wants to mangle his girlfriend. And then here's where we cut in John Paul Copenhaver, War Machine, who assaulted the hell out of his girlfriend Chrissy Mack. For some context, okay, Elijah, roll the clip.
I want a Slurpee. I want a fucking Slurpee.
Continuing on. Last week, I had to work a couple of days when she wasn't working. I tried to convince her to go without me. The first time she didn't, but the second time, I got her to go. That's right, just force her right in there. I got this little box. It's a nice little box. I want you to fit in it. And this poor woman, his poor girlfriend, just wants to fit in the box so bad, twisting herself into positions that she shouldn't. Or rather, I guess, having other strange men twist her into position. You know what? We're not going to pack that right now. So yeah, you forced her to go. Hey, great. And she got hurt that time. See that one singular time? Is that not a coincidence for you either? We're just really ignoring everything. She was rolling with a blue belt, and he got her into an arm bar. Ugh, hurts me to even think about it. She says he went right into it and didn't just go slow or give her time to tap. She broke her arm. No, she didn't break her arm. Her arm was broken by this fucking maniac, and you don't see it. I am completely at a loss for words. This entire post is indefensible. And you're sitting here like, I don't get it, guys. Why? Take a look at the mirror. So the dude that broke her arm says that he was just trying to show her how fast things happen in real life and didn't think her arm would break like that. Yes, it's a woman's bone. She said that others should know because of her size and weight difference that he should not have done the armbar that forceful or fast. I believe him that it was an accident. However, I feel terrible for my girlfriend. That's all you do? That's all you do is feel terrible? Well, gosh, I sure am sorry that this thing I forced you into resulted in you getting your arm broken by a maniac. I really hope that all of this is creative writing because this is so beyond the pale. OP says, I've only talked to her once since she got hurt. Yeah, I'm sure that helps. It was mostly her being upset, and I didn't really get to say anything. Trust me, that probably helps. Nothing you said has helped you thus far. We were talking about moving in together. Now she said she doesn't want to. Well, no, good for her for figuring it out. She said others at the academy were rough and should have known not to go so hard because she's smaller than them. Yeah, and a white belt fighting a blue belt, right? It's a contact sport, and one of the purposes is self-defense. I do not like that she got hurt, but I also don't believe the blue belt or any of the others were rough on purpose. Well, you're an idiot. I'm gonna take your opinion with a gigantic grain of salt because you can't see anything beyond your own nose. With the small bit of information gleaned from this post, I think we can all agree that, yeah, dude is a maniac. And not just the blue belt, I mean OP, he also is a maniac. Why is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu the only thing that you feel the need to connect on again? I just don't get it. Now girlfriend won't talk to me. Good. I hope she never talks to you again, honestly. I don't even know what's going to happen with our relationship. There is no the relationship is over. How have you not pieced that together? Oh, because he's an idiot. You really are just a giant meatball walking around with a potato for a head, aren't you? Nothing's going on up there, is it? This is hilarious, but also terrifying. OP says, she said she's mad at herself for not quitting when she wanted to. Yeah, be mad at yourself for allowing him to force you into this. Like I said, you guys don't need to connect on everything. You don't want to do it? Don't do it. Draw your line in the sand. It's fine. It's great. It's good. It's healthy. OP says she's also mad at me and our instructor. I don't know why she's mad at him. Yeah, you've not listened to anything she said, have you? I feel awful she got hurt, but at the same time, it's a contact sport, and injuries happen. I think that's the second time you've said that. It's just a mantra that you repeat to yourself over and over to make this all okay. Well, guess what? It's never going to be okay. Your actions were very un-okay. I don't think it was on purpose or anything like that. Yeah, repeating yourself again. What a moron, dude. I don't have what it takes to unpack all the red flags here. I tried to point them out as they happened, but holy shit. You want to know why there's no women at this place? If you really want to get in shape and spend time with the girl, maybe go running. Maybe don't do the contact sport where there's a risk of breaking her arm. Or do it at the women's beginner class. Like, that was the best idea here. And OP shot it down because he's like, no, we have to do it together. It's like, we're different skill levels and physical strengths. Maybe this is one of those things that we shouldn't do together. I know she's gonna end it. OP, he's too dumb to take accountability for his own actions in any sort of way. He'll never figure out why she dumped him. But good on her for getting the hell out of there. A series of independent women quitting this gym separately from each other shows you that there's a sort of culture here that just, you don't really want to be a part of. As far as fixing the relationship or whatever, I really hope not. I hope she wakes up and walks away. Throughout the entire post, OP is talking about what he wants and just basically disregarding anything that his girlfriend wants, like he has complete control over her body. And then her arm got broken. Harsh lesson from the universe. It seems that she's learned it and will walk away. It seems that OP, well, he never will. Big old meatball head. I hope it's creative writing because it is horrifying. But we always aim to do our best to make light of even the most horrifying things. Anyway, let's get into another one. Am I the asshole for asking my wife to actually do some housework while she's home? I guess it depends how you ask, and if you're the sole breadwinner, and if you contribute anything while you're at home. Well, I got a lot of questions here, so we'll read the post and dig in a little bit further. Throwaway account, as I don't want to clog up my main. Yeah, that's a good idea. I just want to ask about my actions. I don't want to be forced to defend any of them. I, 35 male, have been with my wife, 29 female, for 6 years, married for 2 years. She's been off work for the past month or so and will be for the next few months. We agree that while she was off work, she would do 90% of the housework as I work an 8 to 5 job. And by 90%, I mean you gotta give 100%. And if you're gonna give 100, you might as well give it 110%, son. Get out there, leave it all on the field, you know what I'm saying? Really, I think this setup is fine. Seems to work okay for wifey and I. But my experience doesn't really matter. What matters here is the dynamic between these two people, and apparently it's not working out. Whether that's his fault or hers, I'm still not sure. Why is she off work, I guess would be the next question I have. So, carrying on. Over the past 2 weeks, she's been giving me excuse after excuse to things like why the laundry isn't done, or the bathroom isn't clean, or dinner isn't ready. Jesus, just living under a tyrant. Oh, it's almost 5. The tyrant is gonna be home. Better heat up some Stouffer's lasagna. Here you go, shove your face. Enjoy eating alone forever. Some days, she barely gets out of bed, and our house looks a right state. I'm embarrassed when my parents come over, as my mom keeps her house spotless. Oh yes, a comparison to Mummy Dearest. Is that not the biggest red flag we've seen thus far? Sweet Mummy Do No Wrong taught me to expect more. Well, she's obviously going through some things if she's unable to get out of bed. Maybe a little bit of sympathy. Maybe a little, how's your day been, darling? I think that might go a long way. Anyway, last week after I came home to only a fraction of the chores being done, I asked my wife if she was actually planning on doing the things she promised me she would do. All right, let me tell you something, shit for brains. It's not an easy job, okay? If not everything gets done, you have no right to come in and lord it over somebody. They were unable to do it today. Why don't you try again tomorrow? Or better yet, do it yourself if it's that fucking important. It's fairly true that, yeah, sitting around doing nothing, that's not good. But she did at least a fraction of the chores. She obviously accomplished what she was able to accomplish today. Why you gotta come home and immediately beat her up about it? It's really fucked up, dude. I'll tell you a little story from my own personal life. You know, sometimes wifey isn't able to do all the laundry immediately and it piles up and she starts to beat herself up. And I'm like, look, it's not a big deal. We have clothes to wear, okay? You'll get to it when you get to it, and it doesn't bug me. She keeps them in immaculate house. It's not a Hallmark movie where everything is flawless all the time, but good. It looks lived in, and I love that. Anyway, OP says, my wife snapped at me, saying that it had been a bad day, and I could be a bit more sympathetic. Yeah, why you walk in and immediately start in with this shit? You need to check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. I pointed out that she said when she went off work that she was gonna do all the housework while I was at work. It's not difficult, as both my mom and sister can easily keep their houses clean and tidy. Yeah, something tells me that they had a lot of practice living with a pig like you. I hate to recommend that basically like everybody in the video leave their significant other, but this is not going to turn out well. So it was at this point, OP says, my wife blew up at me and said that I was being completely unreasonable. She went to stay with her parents, both of whom have been texting me, calling me an asshole since. My parents and sister both think I'm justified for reacting like this. So, am I the asshole? I think it's safe to say yes, especially depending on the reasoning behind everything. Depressive episodes happen. We just have to wait for the manic days and then everything's gonna get done. But there is an edit here that points out that it wasn't a depressive episode type of thing. Edit. Because I've had people ask for more info, she's off work because she's 38 weeks pregnant with our with our first child. 38, dude, you have no idea, do you? You have no fucking idea. I know she's full of regret right now because she's like, now I'm attached to this entitled monster for the rest of my life. Oh my God. Yeah, she's right. She does deserve more sympathy. What is wrong? Your parents, your sister, they're all delusional. It seems to me she's legitimately not able to keep up for good reason. If it's that important for you to have a clean house, maybe hire some help, you know? And then OP says, oh, it's not in the budget. So what you really want to do is come in and lord over your wife like you're king shit when you're making $40,000 a year? I'm sorry, but my dignity costs more than that. I also find it really neat how you just seem to leave that out. Why is she off work? Oh, she's pregnant. I know that's gonna make me seem like the bad guy. Even to yourself, deep down in your heart, you know that you're incorrect. You're wrong here. You're out of line. She's carrying your child. Bring home the peanut butter ice creams and whatnot. You really need to be more supportive to your partner. The people in your family that are gassing you up and telling you that you're right, they're not your friends, okay? They're never going to tell you the truth because you're their baby boy. You couldn't possibly do anything wrong. My whole brain is just full of fuck now, you know? I don't see this as an excuse because all the women in my family have worked up until their due dates and managed to keep their homes tidy. Why can't my wife? Oh my God. Well, pregnancy is different for different people. How is she even supposed to carry a full laundry basket down the stairs? She's pregnant as shit, man. The fact that she got out of bed is a miracle in itself. The only thing you should truly be concerned about is making sure that your child comes out healthy and that your wife is happy during this difficult time. I don't care about the anecdotal evidence from your Stepford family, okay? I'm sure there's a lot there that was left out or conveniently forgotten, but we're not gonna go into it. Because you're a shit for brains and it's falling out your mouth and all over my desk and I basically hate everything that you represent. She's been working while pregnant, probably for years. Not while pregnant, but working for years. You can't allow her like a month to just decompress. You're a sick individual. I just want you to know that. You are a very sick individual.
What the hell is wrong with you, you sick bastard?
And your family's a bunch of enablers. And I'll say it again, I really do hate you as a person. Okay, well, now we're gonna move on. There really are some great specimens in here though, you know? I'm having so much fun today. Thank you guys for joining me once again. I'm happy to be back at it. After 2 weeks of not doing this, I missed it. I missed the hell out of it. Hey, subscribe if you haven't yet, by the way. You watched the video this far, you must be enjoying it a little. I'd ask you for the Patreon thing again, but I think I did it already, so next post. I 21 male, have hurt my 22 wife deeply, and I need help fixing it. Yeah, it might be beyond my abilities, but we'll see what we can do, I guess. TLDR, I've hurt my wife constantly over the past year or so. I need to fix it. Please help. I do want you to understand that some things can't be fixed, but let's take a look at the damage. My 21 male wife, 22 female, and I have been together since we were in middle school. Yeah, like you think that's sweet until you realize he's been mentally abusing her the entire time. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. OP says, we've loved each other unconditionally the entire time, but I've been slowly slipping and screwing up time after time. I need help to fix this and build our relationship back to what it was before, but make it stronger and better. And you think you're going to do that through a Reddit post? How about you just put in the work, man? Show your wife that you love her every single day. And eventually, after many years, it will build back stronger and better. I screwed up with my wife basically upon meeting her, and it's taken the next 8 years to sort of rebuild that trust back, and now it's there. But it has taken nearly a decade, so, you know, you gotta put your time in. One Reddit post ain't gonna fix it. I think this is something deep within yourself, and a lot of times people let their egos get in the way, and they're like, oh, what they said is just so hurtful, but you have to look for the kernel of truth that's inside of the hurtfulness, right? Take that on board, realize some of the things that you need to do to actually change, not just talk about it in a Reddit post. Okay, again, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm chomping at the bit here. Continuing on, OP says, here are the biggest things that happened to lead us to now. We talked about a push present for when my son was being born. I did not get her anything for it, even after she expressed wanting one, and I had told her that I would get something. See, right there, you're fucking up. I think a push present is kind of stupid, weird, childish, but I mean, she did heave an entire human out of her body. You want an electric blanket? I'll buy you a fucking electric blanket, you know? In my defense, I was about to be deployed, so it was a lot going on, but still, it was our first child, and she didn't want anything big, just something to show I cared and loved her. I told her I'd make it up to her, and never did. Yeah, seems like you're just a big talker. I used to be one of those too. And it is my wife who made me see how important it is that a man stick to his word. Once you've said it, it's out there. People are never going to forget. Even if they don't bring it up again, they're not going to forget. Clearly, you haven't forgotten. There's no magic cure-all. Buy her the present 5 years late. And say, this is for that one time. I'm super sorry. It probably won't fix it in one fell swoop, but the next time that you say you'll do something and actually do it, like she's gonna start connecting the dots and be like, holy shit, maybe he is actually starting to change. But I don't see change happening here. OP does want a cure-all from a Reddit post. Continuing on. First Mother's Day she celebrated as a new mom. I didn't do any decorations, and I got her only a bakeware pan, which was shipped broken. She liked the dish, but it was broken. I told her I'd return it for a new one, and never did. I told her I'd make it up to her, and never did. Are we not sensing a pattern here? Do you need Reddit to point this out for you? There's really nothing more I could tell you as far as advice, except for, hey, chucklefuck, maybe consider doing the things that you actually said you're gonna do. I know it's hard, but relationships are hard, and you're clearly not willing to put in the work. Anyway, after that ruined first Mother's Day, she gave me a very intimate gift for Valentine's Day. A bad dragon? I showed little to no reaction. We were already having a few issues in bed due to ED caused by stress and anxiety, so she was trying to help by giving me a boudoir photo book that she'd put a lot of effort into. I told her I'd make it up to her, and never did. Aw, that's kind of cute, actually. Why did you have no reaction to it? I guess men and women have two different ways of thinking. Women are like, here's a boudoir photo book. And he's like, I wanted handcuffs and a cock ring.
All right.
You know, just different ways of looking at the world. Neither one's right, neither one's wrong. They're both valid. But you do need to understand each other at some point. I don't know what the hell was meant by, like, make it up to it. You want me to, like, tribute these photos? This is not the greatest kumsock in the world. This is just a tribute. OP says, then more recently, we had a date planned for lunch on a day that I had off, and she would be out of work for lunch around 12 to 12:30. I went to a card shop about 20 minutes away from her work, thinking that it was right down the road. We recently moved, so I was confused, but still. Well, she was so happy to see me and go on this date, just to walk outside and realize that I wasn't there. And I wouldn't be there for another 20 minutes. A 10-minute lunch, plate of nachos, let's do this shit. I told her I'd make it up to her, and never did. I assume by card shop, OP didn't mean like gift cards. He means like Magic the Gathering, Sorcery the Conglomeration cards. 100% trying to make excuses for himself. Like, are you not excited for this lunch date? You're off all day and you can't possibly be there by 12. The one thing, probably the most important thing you had to do today, and instead you chose to go shopping for cardboard. I'm shocked she's with you at all. I mean, I was 21 at one point. I made some pretty terrible decisions. At a certain point, it's gonna hit you like a bolt of lightning that you are in control and have the power to change these things about yourself. But until that point, I just don't think there's any fixing it outside of that. Is girlfriend gonna stick around until the point that OP gets it together? I really don't know. I'm shocked that he's made it this far, honestly. OP says, if you haven't noticed the pattern yet, oh please, Toolbox, not everybody here is as stupid as you, okay? I have a problem with saying I will make it up and dropping the ball over and over after dropping the ball on the major things. Okay, what are we doing to fix the problem? Oh, fucking nothing? We're gonna do this for another decade until she completely gives up on you? Cool, dude. Sounds like a great plan. I do not want to lose my wife because of broken promises and selfishness. I mean, you say that, but then you choose to break your promises and be selfish. So, yeah, she's well within her rights to leave. The straw that broke the camel's back, though, was tonight, actually. We planned on spending time together for New Year's, and instead, I was selfish and played online with my cousins for hours, which ate away at our time together. Then when she expressed she was upset about it, I didn't even try to talk to her about it. I pretty much shrugged and tried to move past it. You're a moron. You know that? I don't know how many different ways I could say it. It's like one special thing that you should do together, a memory that will last a lifetime. But you're like, no, I want to play my 800th game of Counter-Strike. That shit doesn't change, all right? That is always going to be there, so make the right choice. Build some memories with your significant other, how about? You're clearly a selfish person, not ready for a relationship, let alone a child. Where's the kid in the mix? Just watching mommy cry on New Year's?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Oh my God. And then you don't even apologize. That's like the worst thing you could do is let a woman brew, go scoop her up and hug her, and she'll be like, no, I didn't want to. And then you hug her tighter and you're like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You missed the window to fix it. This is over. It's been over. I think she's finally coming to that realization. So yeah, OP said nothing, and then they just went to get ready for bed. Missed the clock turning to midnight. No kiss or anything. Just let it pass. Dismal, dude. Pathetic. What are you doing?
What the is wrong with you?
I let my wife go into the new year upset and questioning if I truly loved her or if I was with her for the convenience. I think the answer's pretty obvious to everyone, yourself included, OP. Although you're really trying to talk yourself out of that. I love that woman more than I could ever express in any conceivable manner. Yeah, right.
You sure about that?
Except getting off Counter-Strike. I gotta play with my cousin. We have to spend 8 hours playing Counter-Strike on New Year's. You think I'd give that up for another human being? I would do anything for her, except get off Counter-Strike.
How do you feel? Like a real man.
I would hike the tallest mountain just to get her the flower she wants at the top that only grows there. Gay. You talk a big game, and that's basically all you are, is a bunch of talk. Finally, she's putting the pieces together. You seem to have put the pieces together a little bit. The only question left is if you're actually going to do anything about it or just talk about doing something about it. And I'm pretty sure that I'd have an inkling of the answer. I would give her the clothes from my back and the breath in my lungs to make sure she was comfortable and could breathe. She's an absolute angel. She is, and you've taken full advantage of that fact. She's given me every chance, every time. She's the smartest, sweetest, most beautiful, amazing woman I've ever known. Yeah, but still not greater than Counter-Strike, apparently. She still gives me butterflies when I look at her, when I think of her, when I kiss her. She loves me, and she shows how much she loves me. Yeah, and do you reciprocate in any way? I don't think so. I have never questioned our love, and I cannot ever forgive myself for making her question mine. Yeah, it hurt me so bad I made a Reddit post about it. Instead of actually changing anything. What a douche. Why do I keep fucking up and hurting us both? I need help. How do I fix this? Yeah, all the things I said before. Stop talking, start doing. It's basically the answer to everything in life. I never want her to question my love for her or our relationship again. I feel like I'm losing the love of my life. She's perfect in my eyes. My dream girl. I don't want to lose her. I can't lose her. You can. You are currently losing her. These are the consequences of your own actions. If you don't like what's happening, then take different actions. If you can't return a broken bakeware pan, you're certainly not going to climb any mountains. You don't give two shits about this girl outside of the way that she makes you feel. It is out of convenience. I think you guys have just both been together since middle school and you're kind of scared to experience something different, but there's a whole world out there. My hope is that this girl will go out and find somebody who actually values her, and OP will find somebody who doesn't really care that she's treated like a convenience as long as she gets to bang other dudes on her OnlyFans. I don't know what's going on here. They're both obviously really inexperienced, and like I said, while it seems great in theory to date somebody since middle school, that also means you haven't really developed your full range of experiences, you know? You gotta experience a few things that you don't want to find the thing that you do want. At least that's how it was for me. And at this point, I think this girlfriend would basically stick with anybody who's just willing to keep his word. It's about the most simple thing in the world. Why are you incapable of doing it? I don't know. That's for you and your therapist to unpack. But please do some work on yourself ASAP. What a great time. What a great time we had with these posts today, huh? I hope you like, comment, subscribe if you did enjoy the video, friends. Hit me up on Patreon if you'd like to support no matter what YouTube decides with my channel. YouTube channel memberships are cool, but yeah, they paused them all when I got demonetized. So, I don't know. It's sort of iffy. Hopefully we're not going to get into any trouble with this video. Fingers crossed. But thank you for riding with me through the good times and the bad, friends. Please remember that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye. Go ahead and cut them open. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be